Woo, 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 wrestling fans. Awesome show for you. We have title changes over 3 promotions. We have a Switchblade show up and much, much more. This is Total Spotfest.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome back to Total Spotfest. I am JJ Brownlee, accompanied by Mr. Jamie Faulkner.
How are you?
I am well, and thank you guys for joining us. We got another wonderful wrestling roundabout. We're going to talk about New Japan. They had a show over the weekend. Mostly went off as planned. We'll talk about that. We also going to talk about Impact and all the goodness going on in Impact and the fallout from Slammiversary. If you're not watching Impact, you need to. It's legitimately really good right now. So we'll get into it. We got a bunch of news to go over. We got maybe another impossible game we might play depending on time, but we'll see what happens. And we're going to talk about Journey Pro as well. So
Hell yeah.
Thank you for joining us. As always, we do appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, you can join the conversation, hit a comment down below. Like, subscribe, share, all the things does help us out quite a bit. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast channel, again, you can get in touch with us through Twitter at Total Spotfest. You look good there, Jamie.
Thanks. So do you. Nice shirt.
Yeah, we coordinate this very, this is not even trying to be coy.
You gotta coordinate. Gotta coordinate.
Gotta coordinate. We're gonna coordinate this Friday too. We're wearing our brand new Total Spotfest shirts to Journey Pro 78 weeks later.
Oh, cannot wait. So,
especially after this.
Yeah,
week.
well,
It's only Tuesday.
Yeah, well, in Kansas City, there's wrestling in Kansas City on Monday and Friday. We don't care about Monday at all. So we're just gonna be really excited about Friday because Friday is 78 weeks later.
And I am so excited. It's not gonna be stupid sweltering hot. At least it's not supposed to be on Friday.
Yeah, the rest
so
is
that'll be nice.
like 110 heat index on Thursday.
Thursday, Wednesday, and Thursday is gonna suck.
Hardcore.
For those of you not in Kansas City, congratulations. But this weekend it'll be nice, and so hopefully it'll be good. Because I could just imagine, because those old brick buildings down in the West Bottoms, the HVAC is probably not the grandest, and fitting a few hundred people in there.
I know. Ooh. I'll smell like bacon because my fat will be a sizzling.
I think I still might drop 5 pounds in sweat. We'll see what happens. But I know that was a tantalizing teaser, but we hope to see all of you who have tickets on Friday. Look for us in the teal Spotfest shirts. They're pretty easy to find.
Yes.
I'm not going to give any more than that. It's a little surprise we're doing, but they're very nice. I have one, Jamie has one, and of course our young boy has one too, which he's got to pay me for.
Yeah, he better, because
he's probably going to be some cash. We'll see.
Yeah, because if not, it's not very nice and very evil.
It is not. So we got a bunch of stuff we want to get into.
Absolutely.
So, Jamie, we always start off. Let's do numbers for the past week.
Yes. Okay. So numbers were actually quite impressive all around. I was kind of surprised with the numbers.
Good.
So.
Well, we are post NHL, post Major League Baseball. There's Olympics, of course, but
yeah. So we are at some sort of wrestling normalcy at this point. Raw was up big, but
I expected that.
I expected it because of one name, and that was John Cena. John Cena is a draw. As much as people don't like him, he's a draw. You know what? He hasn't been around so long. I didn't miss him. I mean, I didn't. I don't hate
John Cena.
Yeah,
I don't. I even hated him the last couple years of his thing. I didn't, like whatever. He's gonna get pushed to the top, sure.
Because he's John Cena.
He still puts on. He can perform behind the mic. He can perform in the ring.
True.
Who cares? It's a good act.
Yeah.
So what was their number?
So they pulled in a 1.923, which is up from their 1.609. So that's a pretty healthy jump.
That is quite a big jump. I don't know when the last time they were close to 2 million was.
It's been a hot minute. That's for damn sure.
for sure. It's been bad.
So SmackDown went down just a hair, But they still were over 2 mil, so that was a good thing for SmackDown. So SmackDown pulled a 2.04, which is down from 2.18. So still over the magical 2 mil mark.
Right, and this is their second show back with
Fans,
live audience.
And this is and on that SmackDown, Paul Heyman did the boop, 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 like Paul Heyman actually did, which is pretty damn funny.
I watched pieces of it. I caught Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
I caught Tony Storm's debut, which was fine.
Crickets. Like people didn't know who she was.
She got. I mean,
It was so
I
bad.
think it's legitimate that there is WWE people who are Raw and SmackDown, and then that's it. They don't like nothing else in the world exists for wrestling.
Yeah. Oh, because they're all on Twitter, by the way. Because
I know
God,
they are.
like expand your like. You can't eat mac and cheese and chicken nuggets for your whole life. Like expand your palate just a skosh.
I mean, anyway.
Be a real wrestling fan, not a sports entertainment fan. Just saying.
We'll talk about that more on Thursday when we get to
Soapbox.
kind of talking about that's you deservedly so. But we'll get into that more specifically Thursday when we talk about NXT because I don't know that's a bad look.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, I mean, they got buried on Raw anyway, but So NXT though, speaking of, went up. Again, not by a whole lot, but they did go up. They were at 705. They went up to 709, so 4,000 folks. So
stay above 700. I mean, yeah.
So I'm saving AEW for last.
Deservedly so.
Impact was down a hair, 5,000 people. They went down 104 from 109. So
now, and I've mentioned this before. They have it's not great.
No.
But they have the oddest thing. If you look at their trend, and I know that some of the dirt sheets, have like trends. They list back several months or whatever. I know Wrestling Inc. does, for example, and it's weird because their post pay-per-view shows are always like a huge dip, and I cannot figure that out for the life of me. That should be when you have more people watching.
Yeah.
But so. For what it is, dipping by 5 is actually an improvement upon their other post pay-per-view shows.
Fair, because they did have one under 100,000 not that long ago. So
yeah. Even though, there's a technical glitch. That's a big technical glitch.
Yeah. And then AEW not only went up, but they're also were the number 1 rated cable show on Wednesday night.
On all of cable.
All of cable, that's correct. They pulled a 1.148 up from 1.025. And that show was a banger. And this next one, Fight for the Fallen, is going to be yet another banger.
They are trajecting just, oh my God.
Oh.
Everything's golden in the world of AEW.
Yeah, like
mostly.
I mean, other than like we have a little injury update, but yeah, like damn.
So, good stuff. So, all right. So we got numbers going on there. There's also a New Japan show over the weekend, right?
There was New Japan's Wrestle Grand Slam happened. I'm not going to go through the entire card, but I will go through the championship matches that were announced.
Yeah, do the highlights.
Yeah,
sure.
So there were 2 title changes. 2.
Okay.
And 1 title match change of card, because, of course, as we all know in the world of wrestling, the card is always subject to change.
Subject to change.
So we'll start there. So, as we all know, the main event was supposed to be Kota Ibushi versus Shingo Takagi. And you have been on the bandwagon of, he can't go because of COVID. And I'm like,
yep.
no, it's fine. Right. Like, I was that in denial person. It's fine.
Which it wasn't COVID. It came out, it was unrelated to COVID or COVID vaccine medical issue.
Yes.
It's a respiratory thing, but it's confirmed not to be because of the vaccine or COVID or any of that jazz. He's fine on everything COVID related. He's vaccinated. But
he was
yes.
unable to participate in the main event against Shingo Takagi. But they were you were correct. they were able to get Hiroshi Tanahashi to replace him, who is a good wrestler. He's not a great, like, he's not a big, like, okay, I like him. He's okay, but he's not great. Who's a great? Shawn Spears.
Okay.
Like Shawn Spears, I like him. I loved him when he did the 10 thing back, on the other promotion.
Right.
But he was never like the main top deal, So, whatever. He loses. Shocker. So, you're still IWGP World Heavyweight Champion is Shingo Takagi, who it still should be Will Ospreay, but he hurt his neck. Still a little.
Hurt his neck, and you
bitter
can.
about that.
I mean, if he's going to drop it, he's going to drop it to Ibushi.
Yeah,
when he's healthy. So.
It's going to be Ibushi or Okada. It's going to be one or the other.
Sure.
It's one of those two. All right, so then the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match of El Desperado versus Robbie Eagles was a really good match. And we have a new champion. Robbie Eagles is the new Junior Heavyweight Champion, IWGP.
Yeah, man, he did not have that for long.
No. So that is one thing I do love about me, some New Japan. They don't like having the super long-ass title reigns. They like to keep those titles moving around. They have 18,000 of them.
Nothing wrong. Well, yeah, there's a ton of titles, so yes. I mean, Moxie's the longest reigning of any of their champions. Right?
Yeah. Like Moxley is the longest reigning defending champion right now. So after this match, Hiromu Takahashi announced that he is cleared for in-ring action and he will challenge whoever won this match because he vacated this title.
Okay. All right.
And that's how El Desperado got it. And then now him and Robbie Eagles are set up to fight. They just haven't set up when it is. I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be at Summer Struggle. Just makes a lot of sense.
Probably. I imagine Ibushi is going to fight for the title at Summer Struggle. I mean,
we're going to talk about that in just a second.
Okay. All right, then.
So then the next title change, again, this is like the shortest of short. I think it was not even a full month.
Jesus.
This one was real fast. So Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. won the IWGP Tag Team Championships against Tetsuya Naito and Sonata. They had that less than 30 days.
That's crazy. Wow. And isn't the tournament at the New Japan LA show determining a new contender for the IWGP titles?
Yeah. So post match, the never open.
Wow.
So right after that match, the never open weight 6-man tag team champions, Hirokyu Goto and Yoshi and Hashi jumped in the ring to let the champions know that they want next. So the never open weight 6-man. Say they want next, but they have the turmoil tag team turmoil that's coming up at Resurgence. So
right to determine the number one contender.
I don't remember if these guys are in it or not.
I don't know. I don't know.
So 2 title changes.
Okay, interesting.
And then at Summer Struggle, they are also doing a super junior tag team league that will run through the Summer Struggle. It's a round robin tournament. Right now, it features Robbie Eagles and Tiger Mask, Ryusuke Taguchi and Master Wado. I haven't heard that name in a hot minute. Sho and Yo, El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Taji Ishimori and El Phantasmo are going to be in it, and Gato and Dick Togo.
Right.
So the Bullet Club will be well represented in the tag team turmoil, or the Super Junior Tag Team League.
So it's a round robin, is it?
Yeah.
Because Phantasmo and his guy are the champs on the junior champs.
Yeah, they're the
senior,
right? They are the junior IWGP Tag Team champs.
This is just for a cup, or is this just?
It's a cup. It's not for anything
Oh,
else.
okay.
Also,
Okay, so it's not for a title match or okay.
yeah. So it's Wrestle Grand Slam Series heads to MetLife Dome on September 4th and 5th. So not during the Summer Struggle. This is its own Wrestle Grand Slam at MetLife. They will have Shingo Takagi versus Evil.
Ooh.
And those two dudes have some history.
Yeah. that'd be good. That'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, so right after Takagi beat Hiroshi Tanahashi, Evil confronted him, so they already set it up.
Sure.
And then after that, though, they said the IWG Tag Team Champions, Zack Sabre and Tachi versus Sonata, Tetsuya Naito versus Yoshi and Hashi, and Yoshihashi and Hiriko Gado in a triple threat was also confirmed for that event.
At the MetLife Dome.
So a triple threat there, and then finally, the IWGP against Robbie Eagles will be on September 5th. So nothing about Okada yet, but it's got to be coming. I really think it would be at the end of Summer Struggle, but we'll see.
We'll see about that. You never know. Okay.
And that is all the New Japan stuff I have, other than
that's actually
two people are very, very interested in having runs over there.
I know one for sure is, and we'll get to that in just a moment.
Yes.
So we got news coming up here, and hey, how about that? Actual things going on in New Japan. There's been nothing going on because of like COVID and lockdown, all this stuff for like the past how many weeks, and finally some shows, some announcements. That feels good. That feels good.
Feels good.
Yeah. All right. So before we get to news, Journey Pro this Friday. If you can't make it, go to Journey 2 Anarchy. Journey to Anarchy. It will be live streamed on their show, or it's supposed to be live streamed on their show.
On Twitch.
On their Twitch.
Yep, on Twitch.
So go check it out. If you're going there, they got T-shirts. I already pre-ordered my T-shirt.
Too.
I'm picking up the door. They got stickers you can buy when you get there. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see Kayla Cassidy.
Yeah, she has another commitment or something. Something happened. I don't know if they're finding a replacement for it, though.
I hope to God they are. Ruby Soho. Hey, Ruby.
I doubt that. Maybe Blair Onyx. I doubt.
Blair Onyx would be cool.
Yeah.
Marty Bell, I don't know what Marty's got going on. I mean, I don't know where.
She's probably down at Mission Pro.
I don't know what Mission Pro has happening right now. Any of the Mission Pro girls, shit. Bring any of them up.
Genocide.
But unfortunately, like I said, she has another commitment, so she won't be there for it. So everything else, as far as I've known up to this point, when we record this Monday evening, is still the same. Everything is good to go. So card hasn't changed at all. We'll do a final card recap on Thursday just to kind of get you guys ready for it. We will definitely be talking about it next Tuesday. So don't you worry.
Yes.
We're going to give you plenty of post-show info.
Which brings me to a question. If you're going to the show, this is for our followers, tweet at us or just down in the comments if you're on YouTube. What chant should we start as soon as we get there? Because we're going to welcome back, skinny jeans, lion tamer.
Where have you been?
I mean, I'm a big fan of lion tamer. So this is the thing. So
okay, I'm not helping you start a lion tamer.
Hold on.
Unless our followers tell us to.
Yeah, no. So I think regardless, we should do a lion tamer one when Jeremy Wyatt is wrestling, mainly because I want him to get in my face and tell me to fuck off. That's all I really want.
He would loathe that because he would. Yes, that would be cool.
It'd be worth it. So it would totally be worth it.
We'll have to save that one, but I mean, also depends on who the first match is a little bit too. Mm-hmm. I think we should do a "this guy fucks" chance for the captain. Oh, captain, my captain.
Yeah.
if he is there,
Midnight is not coming. But they have a special announcer. Like I was watching one of their Twitch ones, and I was talking to him and Matt Jackson, and was telling him like they need to convince Jeremy Wyatt to do the Lion Tamer. Of course.
Nice.
But no, like there's lots of good stuff there. Like I'm really looking forward to Connor Everett.
Yep. I'm happy to see Gary J live again.
Yes.
I
mean,
he wrestled during this pandemic, but it's all been like in the south, southeast, where on the coast and stuff. They've been outdoor shows and shit. So, Journey Pro is gonna be great time. So we'll talk a lot more about that. We'll talk a little bit more. Get you ready, kind of a little final go home.
And we're gonna take pictures with Dusty and his son, who are coming with us, the big winners.
I know.
They get drinks, and we're gonna get pictures with them. It's gonna be really exciting, and then we're gonna post them on the Twitters. So be prepared for those tweets, and we might even do the little whatever things they call them, the fleets. Yeah, we'll do fleets and tweets, baby.
Fleets and tweets. So look for Dusty. If you're listening to this here, Jamie's gonna on Twitter. He's gonna DM you a picture, probably after Wednesday's or Thursday's show. But he's gonna DM you a picture of the shirt that we're gonna be wearing, so you know what to look for.
Yes.
When we get there. So you'll get to see it ahead of time. Nobody else. It's awesome.
Hashtag don't share it, please.
Yeah. Maybe we do like Friday on our way into like, all right, here's what we got. No. We'll give you a recap, like I said, next week. But give us a comment down below. Yeah, what chant should we start when we get there? We're gonna try and start at least 30 chants
minimum.
That's us.
Minimum.
That is us in a heartbeat. So, what chant should we first start? Okay, so let's talk about other wrestling news. So that was Journey Pro. Big story from the weekend. You want to do that one first?
The biggest story?
Yeah, the biggest story of the weekend. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to.
I mean, okay, so GCW had their homecoming show, a 2-day show over in, I can't remember, somewhere in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Asbury Park. I don't remember.
Yeah. The crowd was hot. Crowd was hot.
It's an East Coast death match crowd. So yes. And the main event of night one was, first of all, there's a bunch of good stuff. I remember I tweeted out that we found the definition of flippy spinny shit courtesy of GCW of all things. This guy literally he made Reginald look like a bitch by doing like 18 somersaults in the middle of the ring into a back double tuck somersault on the outside in the middle of a death match, for God's sake. It was glorious. But that was all great and fun and all. The highlight of night one was the main event.
Yes.
Was Nick Gage, who's going to be on this week's AEW, by the way, versus Matt Cardona. And my, oh my, the crowd hated him even more than last time he showed up at GCW. He had to have a linebacker-esque buffer of security guards just to get to the ring.
Oh, he did an interview after that saying he was actually legit scared because he figured somebody's going to take him out. Like,
I mean,
real.
some people were tweeting about it the whole night, right? Somebody tweeted a video of the intro clip. It said, "Haven't got this buzz since Cena at One Night Stand," and I go, "That's about right, but also a bit more because it was intimidating for Cena. I'm sure I could legitimately have seen Cardona getting shanked in that crowd, just because the vehement hate they had for him. So match itself was just a straight bonfire, typical Nick Gage, just bloody, gory mess of a thing. Pizza cutter to the face, glass on glass on glass on, light tubes, the whole 9 yards. And it ended, of course, with Matt Cardona getting the win.
Yes.
And then the fun stuff really happened. So he's your new GCW World Champion. Jamie, please talk about post-match.
So right after he won, the crowd went ape shit. Like hardcore boos, boo. But that was just, minimum boos are fine, right? People can handle boos.
Yeah, boos or whatever.
They threw every fucking thing that they had available at their disposal at him. They threw beer cans. They threw water. Some dude threw a pizza cutter at him. Like, it was just like everywhere.
There was an unopened tall boy of PBR that was sitting right next to somebody threw an entire unopened 22-ounce beer at him.
Yeah, it was it was something.
Ooh.
But then like he had to be escorted out, like rushed out because the fans were chasing him. The fucking
It was going to
fans
be a riot.
were chasing him. There was so much heat. Like, and he even said, like, he even used the term X-Pac heat, which of course made me real happy. But like legit crazy heat.
I mean, this was a wrestling show.
Yes.
I want to just remind everybody, but there was a couple guys that were literally going to kick his ass, literally.
Yes.
It was amazing. But this feud's fantastic. Now, does this mean that Nick Gage is going to be all elite? Probably not.
No.
Let's be honest. But he is going to be on. Here's continuation once again. This open door policy, love it. So that was definitely the highlight of the night of the weekend.
100%.
But
100%.
and try and find it where you can. I don't know where GCW does replays. I know
Fight.
they were doing.
They're on Fight.
Is it on Fight? 'Cause I know during the pandemic they were doing stuff on their YouTube. They were putting it out on YouTube, but I haven't seen it on their YouTube lately. So Fight.tv. Fight.tv's got great service for wrestling if you never ordered a show from them, by the way. It's really great. It's where Impact stuff all is. So.
Yeah. So, do we want to talk about the other title change that happened that we didn't talk about at all last week?
Yeah, go ahead. Do that.
So, our favorite almost superhero, Nikki Ash, cashed in her Money in the Bank and is now the women's champion.
We mentioned that
Did we?
mentioned that last
Did
week,
we?
remember?
I
Yeah, we
don't
did.
even remember.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such an
we
afterthought.
we definitely did, yes.
Well, the thing, too, about her, I guess there was a house show that happened over the weekend, and people were letting her know how much they hate her gimmick. Like, it was boo city. Like, boo. Like, I like Nikki Cross. I like Sanity Nikki
She is
Cross.
one of the sweetest people there is.
Yeah.
From everybody's account of her.
Yeah.
One of the sweetest people there is.
I love Sanity Nikki Cross. That was the best iteration of her in
so
WWE or
It was
NXT.
so
Actually,
good.
NXT's version was better. But anyway, I don't know what the hell this is. I don't like it. It feels uncomfortable and weird. It was like that whole angle where Hornswoggle ended up being or Vince McMahon's son. Like, it just does not make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel right, and I don't know if I need to like take a really hot shower to get it off my body. Like, that's how bad it was.
Wow. Okay, that's I haven't watched it nearly enough lately to care that much, and
I
have a
haven't
stronger
either.
opinion about
I haven't
it.
either.
Wow.
But I formed one real quick. Like
Apparently,
WWE is just dumb right now. Like, and the fans are letting them know already what's working, what's not working. Karrion Kross, as we all know, lost his first match in there against
Hardy.
Jeff Hardy, who by
Jeff
the way
Hardy.
has COVID. So that happened, and then on Monday night they have him go against Keith Lee. Keith Lee shows up, ladies and gentlemen. Keith Lee, and guess what? Keith Lee jobbed out for Karrion Kross. That makes zero effing sense right now.
Okay,
Jobbed
well,
out.
To be fair, it wasn't a complete job. I did watch this match last night. Okay, I did, because it was one of the few things I was like, I want to actually see that match, and it was in Kansas City.
Yeah.
too. So I wanted to see a little bit of a home show, right? And the match itself was not terrible. He actually had a good story to it. To me, it does make more sense than last week, because he's the goddamn NXT champion.
He shouldn't lose.
He's
but
also-
it shouldn't be Keith Lee. They should have
He's
local
also the-
competitor number 36.
Well, first of all, he can't get over on anybody. If you would have watched this match, they had the intros, right? Dark, dimly lit shot. The entire match you saw on TV was all close-up angles. They barely showed the crowd at all.
Yeah, because most of the crowd's like this.
It
Not
would have
even
been
giving a shit.
worse if it was local competitor number 36. I mean, he can't even get heat from the crowd. They really don't care. And
He has no
that's the worst thing to me.
personality. He's Lance Storm, but not as good.
And they don't, and at least if you have Scarlett out there, you have somebody to keep the crowd entertained, and she could be the mouthpiece, and but without her, he's Lance Storm. 2.0 or the sequel.
The sequel.
Best Storm 2.
Yeah,
the almost as good.
The search for
Dun,
more
dun, dun.
money. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, and then I said I love me some Keith Lee. To be fair,
Just
for
let him
continuity's
go.
sake, this match makes a lot of sense because Keith Lee's who Karrion beat for his first run at the NXT title.
Mm-hmm.
He hurt himself in doing it, right? But that would be a great rematch to have on the main roster.
Absolutely.
But not like this.
Yeah.
Not like this.
Because their first one was a hell of a match. It was a really good match. And yes, Karrion Kross's
just
entrances are way
goes-
too long and all this stuff. Like, I can get on soapboxes right now because I'm kind of hot from earlier today. But the thing is, man, like, what Vince is so damn out of touch on what fans want. And fans want Keith Lee.
Mm-hmm.
When
Yeah.
Keith Lee came out, pop. Like, it was like, oh my God, it's Keith Lee. And then here comes
Right.
Karrion Kross. Crickets. Like, nothing. Like, people
Karrion-
don't know
Karrion
how
came out
Karrion
first,
Kross, whatever.
but still.
What do I call him? Killer Cross?
You call him Karrion, but he came out first.
Oh,
is what I'm
whatever.
saying.
But you know what I'm saying. Like, it was crickets
Yeah.
compared
One
to
comes
pop.
out, there's nothing.
Pop. Like, it was
Yeah,
Pop
people
City.
generally want to see Keith Lee, and they don't want to see him in this jobber role. Now, I know that he has some health things. I don't know what. I still have no idea what it was.
He
why
announced
was gone,
on
whatever.
Twitter he's going to tell everybody.
Okay, good. And I don't want to pry. I don't want to go jump to conclusions, but he did some health stuff going on, and I know that he's not necessarily the same. He's rusty. He's got some rust. He's got a little shelf rust on him because of that. Because he was off TV for what, 6 months. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
at this point, man, WWE just needs to free him and Mia Yim. Let them spread their wings. They would be amazing over in New Japan.
we've still not seen Mia. I have no idea
Stuck
why.
in catering.
I have no idea why. They need people. We talked about this as well earlier, that the NXT people just, they're being mispromoted, whatever it is. They just, WWE's fans could give a shit about anything not WWE, which I think is a long-term problem for them. Because if you can't bring in stars and build up stars, what are you left with? Fucking Goldberg. Where do you go in 10 years? Where do you go?
Yeah, and like,
I don't know.
okay, so an inanimate object has had more screen time sitting on a damn swing than Mia Yim, and that is a effing shame because she is an amazing wrestler. She deserves the time, not some damn doll. Ugh. Sorry.
Let's Jamie's blood pressure is getting up there. Let's move on.
Please.
So there were other indie moments going on from the weekend as well. Lots of indie stuff going
Yes,
on.
this is
So
a
there
good
was
indie weekend.
Indie Weekend. Danhausen, he was at a New South show on Saturday night, and he came out to Judas.
What?
Jericho's Judas. Yeah, it makes no sense. I don't know.
That's
I just
hilarious.
love it though. Why not? Love me that Danhausen. So, and you better love Danhausen or be cursed. So, that was great. And then Chelsea Green was at Hurricane Pro. Hurricane Pro's a promotion down in Texas. It was her indie promotion. Her first indie promotion since Freedom, right? So she had a pretty good match there. At that promotion as well, though, Lady Frost, who's one of Jamie's favorite indie wrestlers.
Love
out
me
there,
some Lady Frost.
She defended successfully her women's title for Hurricane Pro, and I don't know the stipulations of the match itself. I didn't have the opportunity to watch the actual show anywhere, but I caught everything on online clips and recaps and stuff. And whatever the stipulation was, hardcore, no DQ, whatever, it involved at one point in time her getting out a giant bucket of Legos, lying them out, and then putting her opponent on her back and a chair on top, and then doing a back somersault splash onto the chair, onto the Legos.
That's amazing. We need more of that. We need more of that.
We need more Frosted mini kicks. I mean, I love me some Lady Frost too. So that was a thing that happened. I know we got NXT coming up tonight, and we'll talk about it tomorrow on Thursday's show. But I do want to say that Virgil He does plan to get involved in the ongoing Ted DiBiase, Cameron Grimes, LA storyline.
That's perfect, actually. As much as I don't want to like it, I like it.
If the money is right.
Oh, yeah.
Quote unquote. He said that would be wonderful to me, but the money got to be right out and big. I love big money because I love big Olive Garden. This is a work. This is a total work here.
Yeah.
And you need big money to buy big Olive Garden. I also love big booties. He just kept going. I don't know what he's saying. But anyway, I think we'll see it. This indicates to me so that would be great. We know they got to take over coming up here in a few weeks, and I predicted that is where Cameron Grimes will win this. I think it might be to the help of Virgil. We'll see what happens.
That'd be kind of great. Actually, I would be okay with that.
You'd be down for that. I know. A couple little bits here about AEW before I get to one big AEW story, which we talked about last time. But Malachi Black was on the Wrestling Perspective podcast. That's the podcast that features Petey Williams and Lars Fredrickson, for those of you who don't know. It's where Ruby Soho, Ruby, got the permission to use Ruby Soho for her name because Lars Fredrickson is the guitarist from Rancid. But it's a really good, they do a really good show. They get really good interviews there. So they had a really good talk with Aleister Black and talking about the biggest reason why, what he liked about AEW, why he went there, the whole thing. And a couple little bits here is that he said his reason there was, of course, creative freedom. I don't care about money, never have, which is refreshing to hear, right? That he really just wants to create a character. And then he talked about a lot of the people who have been helping him out, so he said that he actually has been doing a lot of work and bouncing a lot of ideas around with Jake the Snake Roberts, which I feel is pretty on brand for him, right?
I feel like that's one of his old school heroes, because I see a lot of old Jake the Snake in him.
The darkness and that, because I remember that, Jake at one point in time, was it? I can't remember if it was there was a good segment there. Maybe it was pre-Elizabeth or post-Macho and Elizabeth. I can't remember where it was, but he became face out of nowhere in WWE.
Oh, Jake the Snake?
Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, WWF. It's like, this guy's a face all of a sudden, and he just, but he's still he the other time he was just dark, dark.
I'm gonna have my snake bite you in your face, your chest, and you're gonna feel that venom run through your body. It's gonna be amazing. Dude,
of all the impressions you've done, your Jake the Snake Roberts is by far the best.
Is it? You like it?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, because everything else is like a characterization of the person. Your Bruce Pritchard is kind of Bruce Pritchard, but not really. He's the other ones. But no, the Jake is glorious. Also, good AEW news that there is a new woman who's supposedly going to be another AEW stalwart. So Emi Sakura, for those of you who remember from the oh my God, AEW women's #1 contender,
Eliminator,
A+ Eliminator, top tier, best woman in the world. Way too long of a fucking name. Tournament.
And before that, as the Freddie Mercury chick.
She did the Freddie Mercury stick for a while, right? Yeah. And she trained a bunch of women that were actually in that tournament too, and are in AEW. But anyway, so she put a thing on Twitter. She tweeted out that she decided, quote, "I decided to go to America with a one-way ticket. Look forward to see what happens from now on, blah, blah, blah. Now, hashtag AEW's women's division. You better be ready. Emi Sakura's looking at the top, and Real Britt Baker's looks very interesting." And it's a picture of her from the tournament wearing her crown and cape, and it's got the AEW banner in the background. So, according to this, it's her shooting her shot that she's moved over to America and plans to be on AEW. Okay.
So I like Emi Sakura. I think she's a great wrestler, but I think we both can agree she's the wrong Japanese wrestler we went over here.
She is the wrong Japanese wrestler. We are total simps.
100%.
100%. We definitely want the cutest in the world. Maki
Ito-chan!
So I think we'll see Ito-chan here before too much longer. I mean, here's the thing: is like,
Oh shit!
I make a point.
We forgot to announce
What?
something else though. Okay. Yeah, you go on your point.
Let me finish this and then you do that. Okay.
totally
All right.
forgot.
All right. I totally don't know what you're talking about. But that's okay. Anyway, so we've been talking about the AW needs women's division needs, this I think is she's here's, if nothing else, she is good in that Christian Cage, Matt Hardy sensibility.
Yes.
She might not speak the greatest English, but she could speak wrestling, and she's trained a lot of wrestlers, female wrestlers.
A lot of good ones.
So
Riho.
some of these, some of these green women, which are they're in, a lot of them are in ML or in Mission Pro, which is good, but you can only do so much. It's good for her to work with some of them, kind of too. So this the Julia chick from the Varsity Blondes, and Tesha Price, who I think has got a tremendous upside, and Maddie Rankowski, and some of these other I think that's the play here. She's not going to be another, like shoot to the top type of thing.
No.
But she definitely is there to help out. All right. What did you forget?
I cannot believe I forgot this. But it is official. Speaking of Mission Pro and the women's division of AEW, I cannot believe we've not announced this. It's been on our Twitter.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Thunder Rosa is officially all elite, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. That means we are going to get Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, all out for the belt, or Chris Statlander and Britt, and then Thunder Rosa's involved. Maybe we get our first triple threat. I don't know. Hopefully they don't WWE it on that. But what I'm saying is, like, she's officially there.
This is big. This is official.
So,
this is good.
Rumor and then rumors on the dirt sheet, which no one has been able to confirm, but they said it is very likely that Tony Khan bought out the rest of her NWA contract.
That's what I heard. I heard that they had a very amicable between the three parties, being Thunder Rosa, AEW, and MLW. They had a very amicable, negotiation, and they were able to come to a, joint conclusion. I think that here's the thing, and we talked about this with Impact, and we'll get to Impact in just a few minutes because, like I said, their show was good, but working well with others and playing well with other promotions, and AEW in a way kind of pioneered this. So, I mean, there's no reason not to. Why not? If you can work out a good thing and have a good working relationship with another promotion, that's fine. MLW is not a threat to AEW. AEW is not going to necessarily take away from MLW, might just even help them. So, why would they not work together and be amicable? So I think that's great on all sides. I think this is the best move for Thunder Rosa because, as everybody knows, in AEW you can still do other things. So she can still do Mission Pro. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Finally. So we'll get her off dark soon, hopefully.
I bet we might see her Wednesday.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I mean, I put good money on it. So, all right. So let's talk about Impact real fast. One other thing we talked about is a little bit. It's AEW. It's more about the Daniel Bryan and CM Punk rumors real fast. So rumor has it that there's nothing official anywhere. Rumor has it. I started songs in my head.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, well, I'm going to thank you, Jamie.
Yes.
Thank you for being a friend.
You're a pal and a confidant.
Mm-hmm. Yep. My heart is true. For sure.
We have gone down that
And
road.
if you need, okay, we're stopping. We're stopping with the music. Lots of chatter out there, but not a lot of substance. So there's talk that Daniel Bryan wants to do this because he's going to get basically the same money, less working days, and the ability to work in Japan. CM Punk's supposed to rumored to be at Chicago for All Out. Oh please. We don't. Anyway, there's a lot of chatter out there, folks. That's all I'm trying to say. So let's take a breath. And nothing's official at all.
Well, I mean, Tony Khan and the EVPs did go out to Chicago.
They did. Do you think that was for? Okay, so I heard the rumor that they're trying to. You told me this. That they're trying to get a United Center for a future show.
Yes.
But do you think this was for CM Punk?
I think it was two birds, one stone. Actually, three.
Does CM Punk really need to have Tony Khan and 4 executive vice presidents show up at his doorstep for him to sign a goddamn contract? Is he that self-absorbed?
I don't think so. I think it was more of they're going out there. They're probably doing some filming stuff for All Out, of course.
Which, yeah.
And
I mean,
then
if you,
they're doing the United Center, and then while they're out there, I bet they're like, "Hey, we're gonna be out here doing this stuff because we're trying to secure the United Center." CM Punk, what's
wanna
up, buddy?
hang out.
You want to have some lunch with us?
well, I mean, if the internet's to be believed, which we know where that goes, right? They've supposedly both already kind of behind the scenes signed with AEW. It's supposedly already a done deal for both Punk and Daniel Bryan or Danielson, and so we will find out. Tony Khan's doing a big announcement on Wednesday for something, and it's got to be related to this one way or another. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's talk about Impact, okay?
Let's do it.
Impact for this week. Fallout from Slammiversary. If you haven't watched it, I say this all the time. Go to Impact.com. You can watch their last couple, I think it's last 4 Impact shows, commercial-free, for free. I think I need to look into their. I'm gonna sign up for their little YouTube thing, the $1 a month thing, where I get to watch it.
Oh yeah, you said you were gonna do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've said I'm gonna do that, but I haven't done it yet. So anyway, okay, Fallout from Impact. So it starts off with a pretty good match, right? Match right away, right off the start, right? Chris Bay, Rohit Raji. While they're coming out, they do a quick little clip that after the X Division match at Slammiversary, apparently they got into it backstage, a little war of words. Rohit's blaming him for him not winning and all this stuff. Of
course,
right?
yeah.
Total heel move stuff. And there's whatever. And then so Chris goes, "Here, take your shirt with you." He throws it at him, and Rohit goes, "That's not my T-shirt." He throws it back at him. He looks at it. It's a Bullet Club T-shirt. So match itself was a good one. I expect nothing less from these two. Big Chris Bay fan. I like the Mocha Skin Manimal too. Chris Bay ends up getting the win. So afterwards, he goes backstage, right? And when he's walking backstage behind the curtain, there is none other than one Mr. Jay White standing there to greet him.
Yay!
And
King Switch.
Yeah, it's
King Switch.
King Switch. Yeah, no, it's your first of several Jay White sightings for the evening. That's why we're all gussied up. So Jay asked Chris if he got his message, meaning the T-shirt. And he goes, "I sure did." And he goes, right then, just offers him a spot in the Bullet Club. So we're always looking for new members. Boom, boom, boom. We want you. Yeah, are you in? And Jay, Chris Bay then does the whole, I'm not really because the same sort of shtick he did for the whole X Division thing, right? That I'm my own team. So Jay asks him, goes, "Really? Well, how's that working for you?" The whole being by yourself thing. Then tells him the offer will expire, so if he needs to make a decision, he needs to make it quickly. And that's that. Then you get a couple little announcements and promos. July 31st, which is this Saturday, is Impact's homecoming show. It's supposed to be on Impact Plus. I don't exactly know what it is, other than it's a mixed words.
Mixed tag.
It's a mixed tag tournament. Blah. I don't know why that was hard for me to say, but it's kind of like their version of the mixed tag tournament to crown an Impact king and queen. It's like a prom thing. So anyway, that'd be cool. Whatever. Mickie James then comes to the ring, cuts a promo on Deonna Purrazzo. And then Deonna comes out, of course, and she once again asks her to be on the Empower show, which is the NWA show that Mickie is putting on in St. Louis in August.
Yep.
We need to talk about that, Jamie. Maybe, it's at this fancy-ass ballroom downtown. It's like so doesn't fit. Like this like ridiculously fancy hotel. They're doing a wrestling thing in the ballroom.
That's awesome.
It's cool as hell, yeah. Anywho, so Deonna then comes out and demands an apology, asks her to get on the ground and grovel to her because you didn't come out here for this is all for you. That's the reason you asked me. Had nothing to benefit me. It's just for you to. Of course, you want me to be at your show. I'm the best ever. Blah 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 blah. A bunch of that stuff, right? Then Gail Kim comes out, says that she's the one that told Mickey to ask you, that she thinks she'd be good for this and that. Whatever, makes peace. Deanna agrees to it. So Deanna will be at NWA Empower. So it's a good pickup for the show. It really is. You get a quick little Drama King promo. Still hasn't debuted yet, but a little bit there. Then you get a six-person intergender tag match. You have Brian Myers, Sam Beal, who we will see this Friday at 78 weeks later. And Tenille Dashwood versus Jake Something, Matt Cardona, and Chelsea Green. Chelsea not in the hot mess garb, the 50-50 anymore, just her regular attire. She ends up getting the Taylor Wilde came out, neutralized Caleb from interfering on the outside. Taylor Wilde, we haven't seen in 2 months, don't know why. I have not heard anything. I was for sure thought she was next in line to get a title shot, but I don't know. But she's back again. Cool. Anyway, Chelsea does it unprettier on Sam Beal, pins him for the victory. So.
Nice. Here we go.
Eddie Edwards comes on. He's not going to go out to the ring and challenge W. Morrissey for a match. He said he wants to do it outside in a parking lot brawl. So he goes outside, and W. Morrissey obliges, and they beat each other up by a truck. Ends with Eddie Edwards getting 2 kendo sticks, which he planted under the truck out. There's a good crowd outside watching them, right? Which is nice. But he kind of hits him a few times with the kendo sticks, and W. Morrissey runs inside. And it's like, really? That's how it ends? Okay, whatever. But then you get to the meat of the matter, and I have a whole page about this. There's a bunch of stuff on the show, but this was it.
Yes.
Okay. Jay White in the Impact Zone in the middle of the ring. Jay White promo. Bullet Club. Here comes King Switch out. And, this is so good. So, he kicks off by calling himself the real belt collector. He introduces himself, right? He goes, I don't think you know who I am. They keep going, you keep going, Switchblade. Switchblade. He goes, yes, I am Switchblade, Jay White. I am this, I am that, I am Doom, I am Jay, I am King Switch. I am the real
belt collector. So good.
Woo! That felt good. And then he reiterated that he is here for one man, David Finley.
Huh?
Yes.
I know.
Because if you didn't know, that's who he's defending his Never Openweight Championship against at the L.A.
Resurgence
New Japan show in a few weeks. So Resurgence, thank you. I couldn't remember the name of it.
I got you.
Anyway, he says, but even though he's here for David, he couldn't pass up on acknowledging the Bullet Club's greatest fans. And everybody's like, yay! And he goes, that's great. I love it. I do appreciate it. We do love you too. But that's not who I was referring to, is the way he said it. We do love you guys too. We're referring to the guys who are throwing up 2 sweets like it's 2013. Talking about the Elite.
It's so good, yeah.
These guys are the true fans of the Bullet Club, and Good Brothers are only ever relevant when they attach their name to the Bullet Club. So he's just throwing out major heat, right? This, of course, he said that he denied their application to rejoin the Good Brothers. That is, this of course brings out Kenny Omega, Don Callis, and the Bullet Club, and great little start to it. He got fire chance start, and Don Callis gets all hot and bothered, and then Jay just plays off it wonderfully. He goes, first of all, you don't even work here. What are you doing here? He's playing this whole thing to Don, and they have a good little back and forth there.
Perfect.
And then Don actually shoots really good on Jay White there. Says the Bullet Club is now loaded with mid-carders, the whole 9 yards, right? Jay then recalls that one time he actually beat one Mr. Kenny Omega.
Sure did.
So they're propping up the whole L.A. Resurgence match, but definitely keeping it out there for this whole Omega angle. So I love this. This is glorious. This is great. Good Brothers, then, Don gets too hot, so Kenny has to take him back to the back of the ring to cool off, right? And so as the Good Brothers come up to the ring, and they're like, we never got our thank you for doing all, for creating the Bullet Club. Like, without us, there would be none of you. You wouldn't be making a living wage. You wouldn't have that nice home in Tampa, Florida. Starter home, not like my 8-bedroom ridiculous mansion, and the whole typical Good Brother shtick, right? And it leads to them brawling, right? So they're going in the numbers game, so they start beating up. And Jay White does get saved, though, by Chris Bay. Full circle. So next week, you will have a tag team match between the Good Brothers and Chris Bay and Jay White. Yes, I said that right. Jay White is wrestling in America in an American promotion. I would not have believed that a year ago.
No way in hell. No way in God's green earth did I ever think I would see Jay White, Switchblade, leader of the Bullet Club, on American soil.
I mean, especially in an American promotion too. That's unbelievable. So,
oh my God, like,
get ready for that.
Get ready to live. Like, wow. Like, if you have not watched any Jay White stuff, first off, if you are a fan of abs, like him and Finn Balor could have an ab off, like, for real. Like, those guys have more abs than most people have, like, just brain cells. Like, it's ridiculous.
I don't know, Jim. I think you and I got plenty of abs. Oh. Well, I mean, we have bigger abs.
We got pony cakes. Like,
they got washboards. They're bigger. They're thicker. They're just thicker. There's no definition.
See, everybody wants a washboard abs. Like, you can't do much with that. Like, you can just wash stuff. Pony cakes, though, we're a lot of fun.
That's right. Hey, this is a good little pillow. That's all I'm saying. Anywho, enough about more cushion for the pushing. Goes to commercial, comes back from a commercial break, right? And then Josh Alexander's having a talk there about how he's dedicated to being the best he can. He wants to be the face of Impact Wrestling, and then he gets bumped in the back by a door. Oh, that's Kenny Omega and Don Callis. Kenny goes, "Oh, excuse me, sorry. Hey, champ, hey, I couldn't help it over here. Did you say that you think you should be the face of this place?" That's interesting. I'll see you around. And he just goes away. And I'm like, because that match, Josh Alexander versus Kenny Omega, tear the roof off of any arena.
Oh,
bar none.
My God. Sign me up. Like, I will pay. I will legit pay good money for that. That's worth the price of admission there. You had another match. You had Ace Austin and Madman Fulton versus Finjuice. Finjuice won that. They announced that next week you're gonna have Moose versus Saban. Moose was gonna be demanding a match, and then Saban just like, "You want a rematch? I do too. Let's do it." So that's your main event next week. Hopefully they can move Moose on to something else, right? Mm-hmm. On BTI, which is like the pre-show that they do before, which is where they had the start of that ridiculous Alexander Iron Man match a little ways ago, right? Mm-hmm. So on BTI next week, they're going to have Steve Macklin get his first actual opponent versus Trey Miguel. Wow, that's a first.
That's a good first out of Jobber World into Trey Miguel. That's going to be a good match. And then you had the main event was a title rematch, Fire and Flavor versus Decay, and ended with Decay retaining their titles. Like, of course they would. They just won them, right? And then I saw a thing on Instagram over the weekend too, that somebody had posted up a screen grab of Kiera Hogan's OnlyFans, which is not a place for it to be, I know, but she apparently put a note up there that she's moving on doing other things. That this taping that happened, the last taping that she did over the week, because they taped like 3 days, like 6 shows or whatever. So that it was her last one for Impact. So she's apparently either a free agent or moving away from wrestling in total. I don't think that's it. I don't know, but she's apparently no longer in Impact, which is a shame.
Yeah, so Fire and Flava is no more.
Yeah, they were a good fit together. I know I know, put two black girls together as a team. It wasn't like that. They actually fit well. They complement each other very good. We'll have to see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen with Tasha Steele now because of that.
That's
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe she shows up in the casino battle royale.
I've been a big fan of Kiera Hogan.
Yeah,
for a while.
She's been around for a while. She's good.
She's been around for a hot minute. I think she's got great talent. She's got a good shtick. We'll see what happens. And she's young too. She's only like 25 or something like that. So I mean, I may be off by a little bit, but she's got plenty of years left ahead of her. So that was Impact. So next week, Jay White in ring. And there's one thing I saw got spoiled that is happening on next week. It was part of the first taping, but it's next week's show. So, it's going to be good. We'll talk about that next Tuesday. So,
yeah, I can't wait.
All right,
can't wait for that already. Can't wait for that.
I see you begin your things in order there, Jamie. So you have a game you want to play, right?
Yes, I do. Yes.
All right, let's do it.
So, as many of you probably who listen to us played wrestling video games, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of really, really, really good wrestling games. So there are a couple of them. There's a couple people online who have ranked them. And just recently, just last month, this place called 137pm.com ranked the 21 best wrestling games of all time. So I wanted to, give you the top 3.
Okay.
And then of those top 3, you had to eliminate one from the entire canon and substitute it with a completely different game, a different wrestling game.
Huh. Okay.
So their number 3 game.
Hold on a second. Is this a desert island scenario or just in general?
In general, the game never existed ever. It's just
so you're Thanosing it and then replacing it
with
so you're saying
wrestling game. Top 3.
I'm removing number 2 and I'm taking something else to put in the number 2 slot.
Yes.
Okay, that's a bold move because it's not just a matter of this would be a good change of pace. You have to justify it as a number. Okay, Jamie, look at you. We're getting creative on the impossible game. I know, right?
All right, so their number 3 game was Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. So this game came out. It was the first one that actually had New Japan wrestlers.
Okay, what year was it?
It was 2015. It had AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, had MMA.
Oh, so it's a newer one. Okay.
Yeah, so...
Do you have the console, too? I mean, I know I'm asking a lot for you. You've been sitting here preparing this for the last 20 minutes anyway.
No. But this was available on PlayStation. It was on the normals.
So it's a PlayStation.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay,
so that's number 3.
Right.
This one you probably used to. WWE SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. This was a PS2. And then number 1 was WWF No Mercy, is what they had ranked as number 1.
I was going to say. All right. So my opinion of that. Well, first of all, they're right on number 1. No Mercy. Yes. No Mercy is probably the best of that engine. The engine started with WCW versus NWO, if I remember correctly.
World Tour.
In 64.
Absolutely.
No. Pre-World Tour is the original WCW versus. What was it called? World Tour.
It was World Tour, and then there was Revenge.
I thought there was 2.
Yeah.
Oh, because I thought there was WCW versus NWO.
World Tour, and then WCW versus NWO Revenge, and that's the one that had
Revenge. I got the.
That's their number 4
I knew there
game.
was 2.
That's their number 4 game.
Right. Okay, well that's a good one too. But I mean, I think that's where it started was WCW versus NWO World Tour, right? And that engine ran through. I think that No Mercy was the best iteration of that engine. It kind of there's all that was N64 still, so that was at the peak of N64. That was right at the limit of what N64 could be. Right? Was that anything above that quality wise, you had to go 128-bit and beyond, which it was actually 256. So that's a good one. I'll be honest with you. I don't think the SmackDown game is worth it. I'm not very familiar with Virtual Fighter, but I am somewhat familiar with it. So I won't remove that one because I just don't think the SmackDown one garnishes it.
Wow.
So I would remove that and I would replace it. I figure you've got a good one kind of in that, middle age of, console system, one that's a little more modern. Let's go a little old school. Let's go back to WWF Royal Rumble, the old school arcade game.
Oh, the one where you had to get him to the side and push the buttons so fast in order to get him thrown over? Yeah.
Yep. I remember I grew up in Central Illinois. See, all the arcades I went to were like built into bowling alleys. And in Central Illinois, bowling is huge.
Yeah.
Like I moved to Missouri, and hardly anybody bowled, but there was like 8,000 pool halls, so I couldn't figure it out. And I'm like, well, where's everybody go bowl at? We don't. We play pool. Well, there's pool rooms at the bowling alley, but where do you bowl? But in Illinois, it's the thing. Bowling alley, there's a pool. There's like a pool hall built onto the bowling alley, and there's an arcade built onto that as well. So every time we'd go bowling, and I was in league, my sister was in league, my parents were in leagues, my grandpa was in 5 different leagues or whatever. Not that many, but still. So we'd go, and that's where I played a lot of my first video games. Because couldn't afford a console, but a couple bucks while my sister's bowling or my dad's bowling, great, right? And I remember at one of the bowling alleys they had that game, and for some reason, because I was just a huge mark as a kid, right? And nobody was ever hardly on it. Everybody was playing either the Kiss pinball machine, which was great in that arcade, or they had just got, Street Fighter 2. So everybody was lined up around that. And I'm just like, I'm going to go play wrestling. Fuck this, And I loved that. I played as Ultimate Warrior always.
Always. I used to play as Taker. I used to play as Taker.
That was Taker V1 Taker.
Yeah, blue, black and purple. All over.
Hogan was great. Macho was actually the quickest. Macho Man was the quickest on it. Jake the Snake was pretty good, but he was slow. But I always played as Warrior. That was my man. So I'm removing that SmackDown, putting in WWF Royal Rumble arcade.
That's solid. That's solid.
What about you, man? What do you do? What are you doing with those 3?
So, if it's up to me, all 3 are gone.
Oh, I didn't know we could move more than one. Okay.
Yeah. So, all 3 gone. Gone forever.
Okay.
Gone forever. So, my number 3, actually, you're fairly close on one of yours. So, I liked WWE's WrestleMania arcade game.
Okay, yeah, that one was good too.
Yeah, that one was mine.
They were pretty close to each other, let's be honest.
Yeah, they truly were. Then my number 2 was actually WWE SmackDown Shut Your Mouth.
Okay.
That was the very first incarnation of the SmackDown franchise.
So that was the engine after the whole WWE NWO. No
Yeah,
Mercy.
that was a PS2.
Okay. Yeah.
That was when Ukes did the whole new game system.
Right, because I remember all through PS1 they kind of sputtered along on the same engine they were doing before, but it just after No Mercy it just was like meh, yeah, they're all the same, but not as good.
Yeah, and then
So
my number 1 is WCW versus NWO World Tour. The first one, not the second one. Everybody says the second one's better. Like, I can get into fights all the time about this, but I love the first one, and here is why. Me and my buddies in high school, we, of course, the traveling N64, right? So,
of course.
we played GoldenEye, and we played this. Like, that's what we played. And
well, you played Mario Kart, I'm sure.
Mario Kart, of course. But, of the non-Mario-esque games. So
yeah, that was GoldenEye and wrestling.
GoldenEye, we had the no odd job rule because that's just a dick move.
I know, right?
So we had the no odd job rule, and then we had this, and then we always used to do the battle royal, like it's their Royal Rumble type thing where people just kept coming in. And then we always did Fatal 4-Ways as well, and I always played as Hannibal on the game, and Hannibal was Hayabusa. And you can ask one of my best friends, Greg Tennant, if he's listening. Shout out to you, Greg. We used to play all the time, and
Greg?
he used to get so pissed because I had this yellow controller, this bright yellow Nintendo 64 canary yellow controller, and I call it the Vet because it's like Corvette yellow, right? I call it the Vet. I was undefeated on that controller. No one could beat me. And the thing that used to piss him off, because I figured out the cheat on pins. So all you have to do is push the down arrow and you kick out no matter what. Right. So I used to wait like till I got to 2. You should do it, so it made it look cool. Or I just not do it. But the thing was, like, I always used to do a snap nair, and then I put him in the arm bar. It was just like a regular arm bar because they didn't have the submission mechanics.
Right.
And
it was the first iteration.
Yeah, I would always get them to tap out. Don't know how.
You always get a tap out
every
time.
And
Man, man.
My friends used to rage quit so much. Like Greg used to get so pissed, and then finally he made me like where I couldn't wrestle as him, or they give the controller.
The man odd job rule on you in WCW and WO.
Yeah, like I was undefeated on that controller. Like I never lost in WCW versus NWO Revenge. And that was before Goldberg. That was the first iteration of NWO, so it didn't have a very big roster. It had Buff Bagwell, Scott Norton. You know, it had the Outsiders. It didn't have very many.
Yeah. It had Harlem Heat in it, I think.
Harlem Heat. It did have Scott Steiner and Rick Steiner, but Scott Steiner and Rick Steiner were still part of WCW at that point.
Right.
Diamond Dallas Page. It had Sting and it had fake Sting.
That's right. Yeah, I remember.
Which I thought was great. And like I tried to do Sting because I'm a big submission guy, and you couldn't get the same submissions out of it. Like he would never get anybody to tap with the Scorpion Deathlock,
which is weird.
But I could always get people to tap out with that damn armbar. Don't know how. So
hey.
And then, of course, since I'm a man of 1,004 holds fan, and one of the big moves is armbar, I used to go, armbar, and just do it. Yeah. It was so
Number 4, armbar.
Yeah.
The T-shirt, T-shirt out there that says that is the besties are selling it. You need to buy that shirt.
I do.
I don't remember which one it was. I didn't know we could. I thought we had to remove just one.
Well, it was just one, but then I was like, you know what? I just get rid of them all. Like,
so you just get rid of them all. All right, whatever. I'm gonna stick with mine. Whatever, because I've already been through it. But I do want to say I don't remember which one it was. I think it was the one before No Mercy. So it was WWF. I remember it was WWF. But I can't remember which one it was. It was 4 and 64. I remember when I moved into my fraternity house, my buddy had this N64, and I'm like, we're still playing N64? I mean, it's a couple years past,
WrestleMania 2000?
Due date. That might have been it. I think that was it. I'm pretty sure that was it. Because that's the one where you can make stables under the Creator Wrestler, right? So we had WrestleMania 2000 in my fraternity house, and it was my good buddy Zeke. What's up, Easy? It was his console with the full max memory cards, right? And like at this point, this is 2001, 2002, right? So we've gone beyond playing GoldenEye recreationally, right? PS2 is getting ready to come out soon and the whole thing. And we're harking on this N64 because this game, you could do the Creator Wrestler, you could make stables for yourself, and it had a ton of slots open. So we had, the rules were this. If you wanted to hop in the house, the house, wrestling game, you had to commit yourself to show up for a weekly show and pay-per-views monthly. No, none of this. Oh, I got to take my girlfriend out this weekend. Sorry. No. You. There's a card that is booked My buddy Zeke, it was his game. He was the commissioner. I'm not kidding.
This
This is how
is amazing.
So you had to commit yourself, and we did. So we had chapter Monday nights, and then so we do chapter, and then kind of watch Raw. He'd have Raw on one TV in the room, and then we'd play on the other one, right? And you could come and go, but you better show up for your match. And you could be penalized, you could be suspended. It was great, and so yeah. So if you want to make the thing is, the rules are this: you have to make yourself first. No fibbing, no bullshit. Your height, your real weight. Make it look as close to you as possible, right? Mm-hmm. You have to make yourself. Then you can have one woman in your stable. You can't have 4 guys, but if you want 4, you have to have 1 woman. If you want a female wrestler, and then the other 2, you can do whatever the hell you want with. So. I made myself, of course. I made J Money, which was a nickname I got, back in college. So call myself J Money. I came up to Shane McMahon's intro song, of course.
Makes sense.
I had way too many customizations on my specials. I did the Scotty Too Hottie Worm for no good reason. It's the worst special to do. Don't ever do it. But because it was so over the top. Anyway, so I had Scotty Too Hottie Worm. And then my stable included, one of my pledge brothers, Brad Blake. What's up, B-Rad? He created his alter ego character. So in his stable was himself. Then was a guy that was slightly bigger and slightly, more muscular than him. And it was called Right Nut. And he was like the deranged psychopath, right? Mm-hmm. So I made a guy that was slightly bigger, slightly meaner of me and called him Left Nut. And he was Right Nuts just to troll him because he was his thing. Then I made my enforcer was Andre Aloysius III. He was 7'8" tall, 485 pounds. Yeah, first off, he could only interfere because nobody could beat him. You can't beat this man. It's impossible to beat him. I found the cheat. You just make everything to max and it just breaks the game. So I was not allowed to wrestle with my enforcer. And then I made my buddy's, one of my other fraternity brother's sister as the woman in my stable. I was a troll too, not just you, Jamie. I was a troll too. So good old days. I remember we went on to the original Xbox, to the first variant there. We kind of made it through to that and recreate our characters, but it wasn't quite the same. I mean, we were upperclassmen by then anyway too. And then I remember we were out at the bars one night, and my buddy Zeke is like, hey, dude, man, I just closed my tab and I ain't got no more, whatever. I got no more cash on me, whatever. It's like, hey, dude, you pay for, or he forgot his wallet, whatever it was. I don't remember what it was, but the stipulation was that if I paid for his tab, that he would job me the belt, the title belt. All right, so I took that bet.
That's awesome.
And the next day I came in around noon, right? We sat there and we fucked around, played a couple games, and he's like, "All right, let me job this to you. Let me at least get a couple moves in. All right, I'm gonna get up and go to the bathroom. You go ahead and pin me whenever." And so I do, and then nobody played it since. I am the defending champion of Phi Kappa Psi, University of Missouri, right here. This guy. So.
Well,
good old memories.
Well, you can win that belt, but you can't seem to win a pay-per-view belt from my 15-year-old daughter.
Your 15-year-old daughter owns me, though. God damn. So thanks for bringing that back up. This is fun. This is good times, man. I'll tell you what. Anybody out there, you guys gamers too, give us a tweet, give us a comment, let us know. What games would you remove? What games are your favorite? Give us good stories. I want to hear good stories of wrestling video games. That's the stuff.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? If anybody happens to have WCW versus NWO World Tour and 64 and want to throw down with me, just lay down the challenge. Tell me when, tell me where, and I will be there. As long as I can find as long as I get a yellow controller, you will lose.
I was gonna say you could do emulators online and stuff. I know it's different with the controllers being.
I gotta have an OG. Still. I gotta have the OG.
Well, you can get an N64 style controller from 8-Bit Dough.
Oh, that's true. That's fair.
Anyway, I would love to see that. Well, you are giving away your secret, so you know what they're gonna. Yeah,
I'm undefeated on the vet. Like it was.
It was on the vet. You don't have it anymore, I presume.
No, I think my brother might still have it though. If he does, I will try to bust out retirement. I know we sold a lot of our games back in the day. That was my favorite by far.
Right.
Like we had Turok and all those other ones, and those were okay. And of course, Ocarina of Time But no,
Sure.
dude, I love playing that game. And me and the boys, like, we used to, like, just drink beer, play the game. Oh, it's so much fun. I miss those days. And just give each other so much shit.
I am with you. I remember that, and we do not encourage underage drinking. We're just going to say that one more time. So we do encourage joining us again on Thursday, though.
Absolutely.
So this was good fun. That was a good impossible game. I don't think that was a too impossible either.
No,
I like
no,
that.
it wasn't.
So, all right, we'll be back on Thursday. We got another, I'm going to call it right now, another probable banger show from AEW we're going to talk about. See what happens on NXT tonight. We'll see. I don't know. At least they're getting over 700,000, so that's good.
I heard a rumor about it, and I don't want to talk about it because if it's true, that means it was a spoiler, and I'm pissed.
All right. Well, don't you mention a word to me then. I don't. It was taped because they're on Sci-Fi. Next 2 weeks have been taped.
Yes. So I don't know if it's this week or next week, but
That's why I know. That's why I know a thing that's happening this Thursday on Impact. Because I saw a spoiler. And I very quickly looked away and closed it because I didn't want to see it. But I caught just enough to have an idea.
Speaking of the bane of your existence, Megan, she was like, "Hey, did you know?" I'm like, "What? Huh?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I read it. This." And it's like it's from. I'm like, "You can just stop that sentence right now."
Oh, she spoiled it for you? She's this.
I don't know if she's just one. She's my daughter, so I don't know if she's just feed me a line of bullshit just to fuck with me, or it's real true thing. So because
well, we're gonna find out tonight. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, it's 50-50 with her. Let's be honest.
I mean,
we still gotta buy her. We still gotta buy her an Impact belt. By the way, I did find some little the toy belts on eBay. We'll talk about here. That'd be the ultimate. Like, hey, you're a champion. Here's your belt.
We need to get a picture for our Twitter with all of her belts. Is she's the new belt collector because she can legit do the same thing as Kenny Omega right now.
I legit thought it'd be funny if I did what I did back when I was like a young kid because we were poor and I was like super young, right? I took my mom's old Avon. My mom sold Avon. Took her old Avon boxes. I cut up the cardboard and I layer them up and make my own and draw on them and make my own belts.
Nice.
I figured we could do that. That would be ghetto fabulous.
That would be amazing.
Anyway, we'll figure it out. So join us on Thursday. We'll be back for AEW NXT. We'll talk real brief about final. If there's any changes, anything final for Journey Pro. Hope to see many of you at Journey Pro. If you can't make it, you didn't get tickets this time, be on the lookout. Tickets will go on sale
Monday.
soon. Oh, I didn't know what day it was.
Yeah, he announced
Monday.
it on his Twitch, I believe. I think that they did a poll and everybody said it, so they're going to put them on sale on the August 2nd.
I think it's better than doing it at the show.
Yeah, because it gives everybody a chance.
Yeah, because if you're at the show, you might get, you might have had a few too many to drink, and maybe you'll linger around, and then whatever, you forget. I don't know. Anyway, so be on the lookout there. We'll talk about that next week when we get to next Tuesday show. We'll talk about Journey Pro. We'll talk about Impact with Jay White's in-ring Impact debut. Oh, geez. I'm still amped about that. Go King Switch. But anyway, give us a shout. Give us a comment. Let us know what you think. Give us your video game stories, and we will see you next time. Jamie, take us home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not down with Total Spotfest, I only got one word for you today. R-bar.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Peace.